I'm Mark Diplock. I'm here with Mike Homes Inspections, and we are here as part of the Homes Approved Homes program. There are certain stages of the building process that we actually go through. Today, we're actually going to cover what is called the envelope inspection, or the framing, structure, building envelope, and mechanical roughness. This is one of the inspections that we actually do as part of the Homes Approved Homes process. If there is a problem or a defect, we can actually catch it now.
Here at Zeina Homes, we're third-generation builders with decades worth of building experience, and we take pride in our custom-built homes and how much effort and attention we give to detail in order to make sure that our craftsmanship exceeds the standard level that's required in building a home. Mark and I will all go together and do a small tour of the house, a mini inspection, and make sure that everything's up to par.
We're going to do a couple of these phase inspections just so you get an idea of what actually happens behind the walls and everything else that's going on with these houses that nobody else sees, because it's all being done during the construction process. And by the time you actually buy this house, move into this house, you don't see what happens in behind here. We're here to basically help you with the quality control and the quality assurance of building your house. We're here to help make this whole building process go a little bit smoother for you. We're a second set of eyes to help you build a better house. You guys get an electronic copy of this report. It goes right to your email. So you can actually open it up right on site and go through the pictures in the report, and boom, 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 boom. You can actually have it fixed within an hour. I love the fact that Zeina Home actually uses these gaskets just for all the ventilation problems and that. We don't see that a lot, unfortunately. This just kind of shows some of the extra quality that Zeina Homes puts into their end product. And that these will prove a nice great seal, help prevent any air leakage from going into the house after the house is finished. Because again, once the brick and everything goes on here, we're not going to see this, so we want to make sure it's all installed properly now. We got some little penetrations here. Things that get missed, but this is the stuff that we're looking for. We're going to document this. What you're going to see here is actually another wrap that goes around here, and this is all part of the air barrier system here. We have this wrap that comes down, overlaps this particular air barrier. This air barrier actually goes in and tucks in underneath the sill plate, goes through and comes back up and wraps around into the house again, and that way we have a continuous seal going all the way through, from top to bottom, around the inside, and that way that will prevent any air leakage from getting into your house. So long as this is sealed properly, and this is one of the things that we're actually checking for right now, this house is going to be nice and tight, and it's going to be a very comfortable home to live in. Things get torn, things get ripped during the construction process. It happens. And this is, one of the reasons why we're here, just to make sure that these things can get noticed and get fixed before they get covered up. Part of our process, though, is what we do here is we actually walk around the house one direction, and then we actually go back around and we do it another direction, because you never know what you're going to see from a different angle. But that's just the thoroughness of the Mike Homes inspections, and that's part of what our training process goes through with all of our inspectors as well. We make sure that we have properly trained guys that know building construction. All of our inspectors actually have a building background, whether they've been carpenters or electricians. They're all versed in building code, so we know that as well. And we just want to make sure that we're providing the best possible trained professionals that we can for our builders as well. Things are just a little bit short here. Obviously, we're going to get some sealing in there, but it wouldn't hurt, just to carry this one Tyvek barrier a little bit more. And it's just a matter of a fact of actually teaching some of the trades that are installing this as well, because sometimes the trades just don't know. So we can help, we can educate them on that, and once they're aware that this could be a problem, the problem's fixed again, and chances are we'll never find this problem again once that trade knows a little bit better on what to do. It just keeps increasing the quality of these homes. We got a quality home here to begin with. We're going to make it just that much better, and that's the beauty of this program. That's why I love it.
So what do you think, Mark, of the outside so far?
Everything's actually looking really good. Like I said, there's always a couple small little minor problems here and there. We got them documented. We're going to get those fixed. So I think we're done out here. Why don't we move on inside? We're going to kind of come through. We're going to look at everything. I want to make sure that the vapor barrier is installed, correctly, that I don't have any holes, I don't have any penetrations in the vapor barrier. I want to make sure that once this drywall goes on, that everything gets clamped properly so that I don't get any air penetration either going out, which I'm losing hot air in the wintertime, which makes the house very inefficient, or I'm going to be having cold air coming into the house. Now, these duct chases, they always seem to be a problem area. We got a piece of pipe that's running through here, and obviously this piece of pipe needs to be here because we want to get heat to different places of the home. And that the biggest problem though is, and again, we do have actually a really good example of what happens here, is a lot of times, you know, when the duct guys are coming in, they're cutting the holes, they're trying to get, you know, their pipe and everything else in place, is they end up damaging the vapor barrier. The vapor barrier and the air barrier, which are supposed to tie together at this point in time, they've both been compromised. We do have a hole here, and this is obviously something that we don't want to see. It's a quick, easy fix. It just needs to be sealed. And we want to make sure that, the bottom here, we want to make sure that that gets clamped. And that's usually just a piece of drywall or a piece of wood that goes in there, along with some acoustic caulking, and that seals the bottom of this. You may recall on the outside where I actually was pointing out that house wrap that goes underneath the sill plate and comes in and wraps up. That's that house wrap that was actually on the outside. This comes down, and this actually creates a continuous seal all the way around the entire house, so that way we have an airtight seal with insulation wrapped inside the walls, and it's just like a nice warm blanket that's wrapped around your house, which is really, you know, keeps you comfortable, keeps the house comfortable, and everybody else. Going to do a walkthrough here. We want to make sure that we got all our proper overlaps happening here. I like to see, you know, we got the nice acoustic caulking that is happening all the way around the window frame. Again, once that drywall clamps onto there, we got a nice gasket seal. We want to make sure that everything is sealed properly, installed properly. One of the key things we want to check for is, you know, the electrical boxes. They can always tend to be problematic if they're not sealed properly. We want to make sure that they're wrapped around with a piece of poly, and that piece of poly is 100% sealed all the way around. And then once that drywall goes on there, we're going to have minimal air leakage in that area. One of the hard things to really fix are some of these wire penetrations in that. He's done a good job here at trying to keep this sealed. Sometimes it doesn't even hurt to put a little bit more tape in around that wire itself, just to try and keep that seal there all the time, because you do get small little bits of air leakage in these areas. It's just a matter of going that one little extra step, and you can, you know, instead of 98%, you're going to get it 99%. We've got our acoustic caulking here again. The pipe penetrations here, they can always be somewhat problematic. I'm liking what I see here, where he's actually taped onto the pipe itself to help create that full seal, so that when the drywall guy comes around, he cuts his hole for his drywall, puts the drywall on there. That's actually going to go around there, and it's actually going to seal it. And that's what this whole stage of the building process is all about, is minimizing that air leakage as much as possible. It doesn't take a lot more work to do it right, but sometimes, you know, it might take an extra minute, it might take an extra 2 minutes. That's the difference between day and night, is those attention to small details. That's why you guys are in the Homes Improved Homes program, is the quality that you've already brought to the table, that attention to detail. Now this is interesting here. What's happening here, because we have a duct run going right up this wall, and we have the garage behind us here. So we have an unconditioned space in behind there, which means cold air, and we obviously can't put insulation in this cavity because we got steel pipe running up and through there. The cure for that is we come in here, we go as far as we can to the pipe, and then if you look in behind here, what we've done is we've done a bump out wall, and that so the insulation is actually going back there, and our vapor barrier is actually going in behind this wall, coming through and getting tied in that way. And that way we still have our continuous seal going through. I like to see that. That's really good. It's these small little problematic areas that are just part of the building process of every single home, but it's being aware of them and doing something to fix it. And at the end of the day, it makes it that much of a better house, and it puts your house above all the other houses that, you know, the guys that aren't doing this.
And if ever the home builders, for example, want to renovate the home or change anything, they won't ever, for example, tear down a wall and notice a bunch of mistakes or problems.
It's amazing, you know, how often that happens, where people will come in, they'll do a renovation, you know, 15 years later, and they uncover things, and they look at stuff, and it's like, you know what, why didn't this house ever fall down? You know, because things get covered up. You can't be everywhere at the same time. The site supervisor can't be everywhere at the same time. You know, you guys do a great job at the quality control. You look and you try to find things, but let's face it, 2 sets of eyes are better than 1. 3 sets of eyes are even better, right? And that's what we're here to do, is try and find these problems and just help you guys build a better home. I'm happy with what I'm seeing here. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll be seeing each other more in the future.